Creativity blocks are like the new writer's block, because if you are doing content as the job, or if you need to do content for the job, if you're not feeling creative, or you're not feeling like you have ideas, or you're not feeling like you can get things done because you've got a block where like you just can't figure out what's a good idea and what's not a good idea and what you should film and what you should do a reel about and what, whatever, it's gonna suck. Okay, I promise, because I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, okay? It's gonna suck real bad. It's not gonna be good, because you're gonna feel like I suck so bad and I have no creativity and everybody else is creative and I'm not creative, and what do? Raise your hand if you've been there, because I know I have. But I've been doing this content thing for a real long time, just a real long time. And I have figured out different ways to be able to kind of spark my creativity when it's not necessarily being creative. Like, oh, I need to do reels today. I need to film 6 reels, or I need to even map out what 6 reels are gonna be, or I need to write an email, or I need to film a video, or I need to even map out what my next few videos are gonna be. Sometimes we just can't do it. And because I have been doing this for a hot minute, here are 6 tips that I've kind of figured out throughout the years. Numero uno, start a freaking timer. And I mean, listen to me when I tell you to use a timer and go consume content that might inspire you. But if you do not use a timer, do not come back to me and be like, Jessica, I can't do this because I get sucked down a rabbit hole and I never stop watching reels or TikToks. I know. That's why I told you to set a timer. I'm a big fan, and I think everybody should be, of creating over consuming, like creating more than I consume. However, if we're not consuming content on the platforms we're creating content for, then we don't know what the newest trends are, or maybe how to take advantage of something that's going on, or whatever. So instead of getting sucked down the rabbit hole, set yourself a timer, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I do not care. Okay, but set yourself a timer and go consume content that might inspire you. This is going to be content that maybe people who you view as in the same niche as you, or as a competitor to you. I hate that word because I don't actually believe in competition, but you get it. Like, go consume their content. Go consume content that is for your ideal viewer, your ideal client, your ideal customer, like whatever, okay? Go consume content that's going to inspire you. And if you find yourself going down rabbit holes, have enough self-control to stop, but also you have that timer backing you up too. And as soon as you see an idea that you want to replicate, or you want to kind of mold after, save it in some way, shape, or form. Save it to a note on your phone. I have folders on both TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, I think, that are where I save them to like content inspiration, so that I can go back and watch them, or if I'm feeling like in that way, I can go back and just go through that folder. But if you don't yet have that folder, you need to do this kind of thing. Second thing is kind of on that same pathway, and that is to go back to your list or start a list of ideas. I constantly have lists everywhere of different content ideas. So again, if I see an Instagram reel that inspires me, even if I'm just like scrolling during lunch or like whatever, I'm gonna save it to my content inspo folder. Then same thing on TikTok, but sometimes I will have, and I know you do too, I will have ideas in the middle of the night. Like, I'll just be like hanging out, sleeping, and my brain's like, here's a content idea. Now felt like the right time to give that to you. And I have spent a lot of years and had a lot of times where I'm dad burn mad at myself because I didn't get up in that moment and write that idea down. So now I have a note on my phone that's literally content inspo, and I have it broken out by like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, even though I don't do a lot of TikToks, but not the point. So when I have one of those ideas, I put it on there. So if you already have a list, go back to your list. There's probably something you forgot about, because it's like screenshots on our phone. Like, I screenshot things to remember something, and I'll never look at that screenshot again. It might as well go on to the grave as soon as I do it, because I never look at it again. And my content ideas can be the same thing. So if you have a list, go back and look at it, because that might spark something. If you don't have a list, go ahead and start one. Right now, as you're watching this video, start a list of content ideas. That way you can go back to it to spark creativity when you need to. This next one's a fun one. okay? And that is to recreate a piece of content that you're really proud of and or that did really well. We all have content on whatever platform, right? YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, our emails, like whatever platform that we're really proud of. We put a lot of either thought or research or time or energy or planning or creativity or something into this piece of content that made us really proud, right? Or what made us really proud was that it did really well, right? So we all have those pieces of content. Go back and recreate those. We forget that we can recreate content. We can put a new spin on it. And we can try again, and we can do something different with a piece of content, and we can have an updated version of it. Like, we forget we can do that. And on platforms like TikTok and Instagram, you can even repost the same content. Like, you could repost the same reel. Ain't nobody gonna care. Not one bit. All right, my fourth tip, and this one is something that I use quite a bit, and that is to get out of your natural environment. Get out of your normal environment. If you're feeling stuck and idealess and like in a funk and all the things, go somewhere else. For me, sometimes that can be that I just go somewhere else in my house. It doesn't even have to be that I have to go somewhere else. Maybe I work from the kitchen this day, or the recliner or the couch or whatever, and that like helps me kind of get out of that brain space. But sometimes that means going to the coffee shop and working from there, or going to film a video and just setting off to film a video in a different setting. I've had several videos where I'm like walking through town, or I'm at a park or whatever, and that's where I'm filming. And the reason that I'm filming there is because I needed to get out of my normal environment. This felt a little bit stuffy and a little boring, and I needed to go somewhere else to get creative, okay? And there have even been times when I don't have any idea what video I'm about to film. Like, I don't have an idea, because that's the problem, is that like my ideas are falling flat. So I will pick up my camera and my tripod and I will go my little booty somewhere else. And by the time I get there, or while I'm there, I will have an idea. Get out of your normal environment. All right, you ready for number 5? Because number 5 is fun. And that is to create a vision board. So this is something I used to do every single year, and I want to get back into. And I actually bought a notebook. I don't know where it is, but I bought a notebook that I'm going to use as my vision board / my like manifestation journal, or like goal journal, if you will. So in the front part of the notebook, I'm going to have my vision board, and in the other pages, I'm going to journal or do whatever, right? A vision board can help so much when you're trying to spark creativity, because you've got to actually get honest with yourself. What do I want? What are things that I like? What are visual things that I like to look at? Like all of these things, and that can really spark some creativity. Ooh, hold on, I have an example of this. This is gonna be super random, okay? But my husband just recently ordered these like leather handmade knife, like pocket knife holder things that like go on your belt, because you know, when we live on a farm, he needs a pocket knife all the time. And he ordered one for himself and the kids. And he ordered these from a place called Ranchlands, I guess. And it came with this card when he ordered them, okay? And first of all, the design of the card is beautiful. This is the front. Beautiful photograph. I love photography. Y'all know that. I appreciate it so much. But I wish this had touch of vision. It's so good. It's like that really soft, like cardstock that just feels luxurious. And I kept this stupid card that is just a thank you card from a company that I didn't even order from, because the photo on the front, the feeling of luxury, all of it inspires me. So something like this could go on my vision board. Doing a vision board in a time where you're feeling pretty like tapped out creatively can really get those juices flowing. And then once you have created that vision board, looking at it and going through it and reminding yourself of things like, oh, I really like this because of the touch and the feel and the look of it, or whatever, just is gonna do something to your bones. It's gonna do something to the blood. It's gonna make the things start flowing, I promise. And this last one is such a new age tip. However, it is one that I have used way more than you would think I would have, or way more than like I would have told you I would have a year ago. And that is to get the help of AI, sparking some ideas and creativity. All you have got to do is march your little booty over to ChatGPT and be like, hey, ChatGPT, give me 10 video ideas that are along these lines, you know, that meet these criteria, that help this person. And then they'll give you the ideas, and they'll probably be pretty generic. And then you can be like, let's make it more creative. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, more creative. And then they'll spit out these things. And if you'll keep going with the AI, you will eventually get to the point where you just collaborated with a robot to come up with at least one super creative idea, and you have got your juices flowing. I personally think this is the best way to use AI for business owners and creators right now. It is to just get yourself out of this like creative hole, or to get it to help you do something more creative, or to get it to help you with an idea that maybe you're stuck with, or to kind of push you in a different direction. So, okay, I want to name my new course. Come up with 10 names for a course that's about X, Y, and Z. Make it really fun and funky, or make it exciting, or make it be an acronym, or like whatever, right? And these things that AI spits out may not be the answer or the perfect thing, but they're gonna cause your wheels to start turning. And that, my dear, is 100% worth the effort. I've actually had a lot of fun recently playing with Dolly, that is now incorporated into ChatGPT, which is like their image software. So like yesterday, I saw a post from someone that was like, what AI thinks different areas look like. And it was like Florida and Georgia, like whatever, right? And I was like, oh, that's a really good idea, which by the way goes back to number one of scrolling content that might spark your interest, right? And so I saved it to my folder. That's number two. And what was fun about this to me was that I own an Instagram page that's for my local area, and we maintain it and we post to it and all the things. But my team also manages another local Instagram page. And so we need a lot of local things all the time. And I was like, you know what would be cool is to see what AI thinks of my area. And I came up with this picture. And when I tell you that this is very common art and very common things, and like this is the imagery you often see in our county, I'm not even playing. So it took everything it knew and everything it could find on the internet to make this image that looks like my area. And then number one, that gave me a post that I could do. But number two, it gave me other ideas. I was like, oh, what if I got it to do this? And what if I got it to do that? And what if I got it to do this? So play with AI and let it help you as kind of like a creative assistant to get off your burnt out, no creativity bootay. If you have other ideas for how to spark your creativity, or if you're someone who's like super easy to get out of that creative rut, I'd love to hear them below in the comments, because number one, I'd like to know. And number two, the people who are watching this video are going to read the comments and be like, oh yes, okay, that's another good idea. Yes, oh my gosh. So share them below, okay? So instead of let's get physical, we're going to say, let's get creative, let's get creative. Oh!